Hello and welcome to New Hampshire, site to chase race number 2 of the Reebok Truck Series season. And here's the starting grid. Henry Powers will start on the pole alongside chaser Charles Jackson, looking for a good run. Comes into this race 16th on the chase grid. We'll get to that later. Row 2 sees James Shelley and Paul Swanson, with Alex Perkle, another chaser, in row 3 starting alongside Jake Baskinger. Jeff James, Kato Nakagawa, row 4, and Max Newirth and Hiroshi Kazuyoshi in row 5. Here's the rest of your starting grid. Paul Swanson comes in as the points leader at 52.10. Jay Stella, the only driver who knows that they will be in round number 2, coming off the win at 8 Bowl last week. The bottom 4 coming into this race, you see one of them right there, the 25 of Steve Pollard. Then you have the 29 of Matt Dixon, the 7 of Kato Nakagawa, and the aforementioned 54 of Charles Jackson. Final row, Mason Neal and Binky Louvier. And the way the rest of the chase grid looks behind Stella: Max Newirth 4th, Mason Powers 5th, Jessica Shelton 6th, James Shelley, Preston Plord, Seth Cole in 9th, Sam Young 10th, John Irvin and Alex Perkle the top 12. Perkle comes in 10 points ahead of Pollard on that all-elusive chase bubble. Onboard cameras that we will carry today will start with the points leader. Paul Swanson will be carrying the Geico onboard. And so here's the command.
Drivers, start your engines.
We'll also be taking a ride with William Duncan today with the Toyota onboard camera. Jay Stella, the Dodge onboard. Max Newirth, the Chevy onboard. Mason Powers, the Bass Pro Shops onboard. Jessica Shelton, the Napa onboard. Sam Young, the Fruity Pebbles onboard. And finally, Matt Dixon carrying the Goodwrench onboard camera. So pace truck coming through turns 3 and 4. He'll make the hard left onto pit lane, and the field will be under control of Henry Powers in the Ream Chevy for Turner Motorsports. And the green flag's out, we're underway. Jackson with a good run going into turn number 1. But it's not going to be enough, as it looks like, well, I don't know, he's going to get the run off the corner as well. Charles Jackson to the race lead off going into 3. He clears Powers. Powers is going to slide up. They're going to be 3 abreast off turn number 4 with 2 chasers, but Charles Jackson, a chaser, leads lap 1. And Shelley, another chaser, clears for 2nd. Swanson to 3rd, so chasers run 1, 2, 3 possibly. Powers got the run off the corner. So it looks like the outside line will be where you want to be for coming off the corner, but you can get some decent runs going through. Let's see if people clear. Oh, Nakagawa up the track. And the 7 keeps off the wall. 3 abreast all the way through the field almost there. A lot of spots where we could see 3 wide action. But meanwhile, back up front, battle for the lead. James Shelley in the 4. Deciding he needs to take advantage and try and lead a lap. If nothing else, just try and prevent Jackson from getting the win. A little bit early to think about that part, but hey, you never know. At the line, Shelley will lead by about half a car length as there's trouble. Kyle Matthews around in the back. John Irvin's in it. One of the chasers is involved. John Irvin in the 13 truck. Not sure about anyone else, but not all the field took the yellow. As the race leader's still racing back. And coming off turn number 4, James Shelley will lead the rest of the field back to the caution. So we'll have to check to make sure no one stacks up in this. Looks like top 12 had not taken the caution, is what it is. A little bit of stack up. Powers might have gotten into the one of Dylan Young, two of the Bass Pro Shop Chevys. Damage to the 97 of Tom Shelley as well. But looks like we're good, and we'll take a look back at what happened to bring out the caution for the first time today, as Kyle Matthews got spun off turn number 4. And we're back looking at what might have happened here coming off turn number 4. Looks like a little bit of a squeeze job here. Kyle Matthews is going to squeeze John Irvin into the wall. Looked like he might have been trying to give the 23 some room. Steve Pollard in the 25. Another chaser gets a piece of it. As there's John Irvin. He's going to spin down the track. Alan Cavagnaro gets a piece. Mason Powers gets the 13. And it looks like Sam Young in the 84 also gets a small piece. As Eric Powers also got spun a little bit. And in the back of the field, not chase related at least, but kind of the same thing here, Tim Greenwich also went around. Makes contact with the 97 even before they exit the corner here. And Tom Shelley just going to run out of room here, and Matt Dixon gets a piece of that. So another chaser getting some damage here. Chasers that were all, at least quite a few of these guys towards the bottom. John Irvin was 11th, Pollard 13th, Dixon 14th coming in. So we'll have to see if any of these any of the chasers fall out, or if anyone does fall out during this race, or because of this wreck. Well, but with that, let's go back and take it back to the green flag here. And we're back. Field has just gotten the one to go. All 42 cars still running and on the lead lap here on lap number 8. James Shelley continues to lead the field under the caution. Charles Jackson second. Paul Swanson rounds off the chasers 1, 2, 3. Jake Bassinger the only chaser not in the top 5 with Perkle 5th. Chris Washer 6th. Henry Powers the pole sitter in 7th. Hiroshi Kazuyoshi 8th. Max Newirth in 9th. And Trevor Germain in top 10. Dylan Thoreau 11th. Kato Nakagawa in 12th. Jeff James 13th. Kyle Collins 14th. Jessica Shelton 15th. Preston Plord 16th. Greg Jones 17th. Zachary Fitzwater 18th. Gardner and Zorline top 20. Rest of the chasers in this field. Steve Pollard there runs 23rd. John Irvin 24th. Jay Stella, most recent winner, 25th. Seth Cole 27th. William Duncan 28th. Mason Powers 30th. Sam Young 31st. Matt Dixon in 37th. And you see Tom Shelley with no front end on his truck. As the pace truck pulls off once again, field under control of the number 4 of James Shelley. And the green flag's back out. We're underway once again. As soon as they crossed the line, Paul Swanson immediately made the move on Charles Jackson. And Baskinger even made it even farther lower move, at least on the 54. On the 03, I mean, should say. I don't know. Don't know what I was going to try and go with there. As Jake Baskinger wants second, this is just going to allow James Shelley to pull away a lot. Just don't squeeze each other off the corner. Around goes Trevor Germain. No caution. He saved it. What a save by Trevor Germain in the 61 truck. And I'm surprised we are not under the caution right now. The officials deciding for the better judgment, I guess, that there was no need for the caution. Paul Swanson back to second. As Jackson starts to fall back. 3 wide off the corner here. And around goes Greg Jones. That will bring out the caution. That one, a lot more of the field will have taken the yellow. As there's a spin back here, Alex Perkle. Charles Jackson involved. Max Neuwirth has damage to the front end of his truck. And caution, leaders take the yellow there. There's the damage and the end result to the front end of the 50 of Max Neuwirth. Fourth in the points coming in. As a tough break also for Alex Perkle. Looks like field will be just fine to catch up and not plow into the back end of the field. Max Neuwirth choosing to not pit under the caution. And same too for Alex Perkle. So at least for now they're not going to pit. Let's take a look back at what happened. And we're back. Here's what happened coming off turn number 4. Kreller's going to squeeze the 22 up. And Greg Jones, trying to keep his truck off the wall, actually gets 2 wheels up into the air there. But does get turned off the front end of the 22. Now, what happens up here with the 83? So let's see, coming off turn number 2, Jackson on up high, Perkle's in the... Oh, Jackson got loose coming off the corner and just absolutely nowhere for the 83 to go and just right into the 50. Ah, tough break there. Oh, and Henry Powers, the pole sitter, even gets a piece of that as well in the 33. Nice avoiding action by the 7 of Nakagawa and the 9 of Shelton there to miss all of this. So we'll have to see how this will affect Perkle going on. Tough break there as he will spin. Was running in the 6th position when that happened. And we'll take you back to the green flag now. And our backfield has gone the 1 to go on lap number 15 here, meaning we'll go green with 11 laps to go. James Shelley continues to lead over Chris Washer, Jake Bassinger, Hiroshi Kazuyoshi, Max Neuwirth, Dylan Thoreau, Koto Nakagawa, Jessica Shelton, Henry Powers, and Charles Jackson in the top 10. Jeff James, Kyle Collins, Preston Plord, Zachary Fitzwater, Jonathan Zorline, Steve Pollard, Trevor Germain, Alex Perkle, Stephen Pollard III, and Jay Stella, the top 20. Where's the guy who scored in 20th? It was Zach Kreller who has stopped. We're back to racing. Zach Kreller has stalled on the back straightaway. Gets towed back to pit lane. We stay green, so tough break for Kreller. And Max Neuwirth quickly disposed of basically right there from where he restarted. Now, can Chris Washer do anything with James Shelley? Well, not off this turn. Field looks good through the back there at least, so that's good. Chris Washer all over the back bumper right now is Shelley. Paul Swanson apparently pit under the caution, by the way, so he's back here now. And, oh, this could be trouble right here. Oh, and around goes the 30. William Duncan, John Irvin collected. Oh, big crash. Paul Swanson, Binky Louvier, and Tim Greenwich involved. And now the field racing back right to where that wreck just happened. Luckily, everyone already towed away from the scene, but oh my God, a vicious wreck here. With 9 to go now. And that one probably our biggest wreck of the day in terms of magnitude of who was involved. Now, the good news for two of those three, you've got William Duncan, Paul Swanson both involved. They were already high enough in points to where I don't think this will affect them too much. They had very good runs at 8 Bowl. But John Irvin, only 13 points to the good entering the race today, and he was collected. Let's take a look back at what happened. And we're back, and I think we've pretty much just seen this story all day long. Duncan up a groove, actually contact made between the 13, and you see Kyle Matthews to the inside, but there's still a little bit of room that could have been given here, at least a little bit. And the problem is, when they didn't give the room, then this happened. There you see Dylan Young, and the 1 gets a piece. Near misses by the 3 and 84. And when they spin across the line, then the field is... Oh, there's Greenwich. There's Swanson just absolutely drilling the 13. Tom Shelley, I don't know if he... Did Shelley get a piece of this? Binky Louvier certainly did. Let's see. There's Greenwich. There's Swanson. And yes, Tom Shelley does indeed get a piece of this. But wow. Let's go ahead and take a few onboards here. This one warrants it. First onboard is going to be that of Paul Swanson. Not much he could have really done there. Only other onboard we'll take is that of Sam Young, as this happens right in front of him. And we're back. Field has gotten the 1 to go here. James Shelley is still your leader. Chris Washer 2nd. Hiroshi Kazuyoshi 3rd. Jake Baskinger 4th. Dylan Thoreau 5th. Kota Nakagawa 6th. Jessica Shelton 7th. Henry Powers 8th. Preston Plore 9th. Jeff James rounds out the top 10. Kyle Collins, Zachary Fitzwater, Trevor Germain, Max Newworth, Charles Jackson, Steve Pollard, Jonathan Zorline, Alex Perkle, Stephen Pollard III, and Seth Cole, the top 20. Jay Stella runs in 21st. Mason Powers 24th. Sam Young 25th. Matt Dixon runs 33rd. And there you see that those are the only trucks still left running. Tim Greenwich, William Duncan, John Irvin, Paul Swanson, Binky Louvier, and Zach Krell are all out of the race now. The big story there with being John Irvin out 39th as green flag's back out. Jake Baskinger makes the move inside for 3rd. Chris Washer's peeking for the race lead there down the back straightaway, not able to get there just yet. Loses some ground here through 3 and 4. Way up the track. Almost made me think that Shelley might have been pitting. Don't wreck, don't wreck, don't wreck, don't wreck. Like, just please don't wreck, really. I want to see this run green to the finish. I want to see how this plays out. Even though I think I kind of know. Battle for 10th here, or battle for 9th, sorry. Kyle Collins inside of Henry Powers. Jeff James might try and get into the top 10 as well. Washer losing a little bit of ground as Kazuyoshi now makes the crossover back inside of Baskinger. As here comes Jessica Shelton looking inside of Dylan Thoreau, at least making a peek inside. Will go inside now as going into 3 and 4. Looks like might be able to complete that move through this turn. Baskinger gets the wall and the white flag's out, meaning we will race it back regardless. Final lap for James Shelley. Looking for win number 2 on the year. Chris Washer looking for win number 1 on the season in a Dodge Ram of all things. And not going to make the move. So coming off turn number 4, the Chasers reign supreme again. James Shelley locks a spot into round 2. Shelley came into this race 7th in the points. Shelton, a good run for a Chaser, in 4th. Nakagawa 7th, much needed run there. Preston Plord 8th. Jackson 13th. Alex Perkle rebounds to 16th, not bad. Mason Power, Sam Young as well. As Jay Stella comes home 30th. Interesting. As Steve Pollard is on pit lane. What happened there? Alright, well, let's take a look at that real quick before signing off. So it's going to be 36 for Steve Pollard. I'm wondering if he just stopped on track. Yeah, he did. So, unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize this at all, obviously. But Steve Pollard going down into turn number 1, something breaks, was running in the 17th position at the time, and will finish the day in 36th as a result. And a tough break for Jay Stella and Seth Cole, who got caught behind him. So, rough days for them now as a result as well of Steve Pollard's issues. But either way, the day belonged to James Shelley. Dominant truck all day long. Top 10 behind him: Chris Washer, Hiroshi Kazuyoshi, Jessica Shelton, Jake Baskinger, Dylan Thoreau, Koto Nakagawa, Preston Plord, Kyle Collins, and Jeff James. Look down at the bottom of the field, you see Pollard ends up being scored 2 laps down as a result of whatever went wrong on his truck. And rough days for Chasers: Seth Cole down in 35th, Duncan 38th, Irvin 39th, and Swanson 40th due to the crash damage. Stella, not too worried about him. Obviously, he's not worried at all. 30th for him, but he's got the win in this round coming off of 8 Bowl, so he's safe. And then Newarth even 27th. So, interesting day here at New Hampshire. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you liked it, if you enjoyed, leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't today. And I'll see you next time.